With every new year comes change. As I find myself in lockdown here in England once again, I found a change of heart for the most peculiar thing. I was actually wrong about Rayman Mini. With the announcement of Rayman Mini in September 2019 on Apple Arcade, like many others, I was furious. With the success of Rayman Jungle Run, Fiesta Run and Rayman Adventures, why on earth had Ubisoft decided to abandon Rayman on mobile behind a monthly paywall? Surely it was time for a console release. I initially gave some harsh feedback and overlooked the game, but after some considerable time and consideration, found some harmony and tranquility with the game. It's a great game, but it's far from perfect. I'm not a reviewer and I won't pretend to be. However, as I give you an updated feedback since 2019, here are 5 reasons why you should revisit Rayman Mini in 2021. Rayman Mini begins with Rayman being shrunk by a flaming teensy. Why, I have absolutely no idea. Like most Rayman games, the game lacks any real story direction. Despite the lack of story direction, the gameplay makes the story passable. There is a huge variety of interesting worlds to explore. There is a huge emphasis on variety. From rivers to underground burrows, swamps and beautiful treetops, the game looks absolutely stunning on Apple's latest range of hardware. It really makes you appreciate the small things. The attention to detail is inspiring. There's a real emphasis on the world and the creatures around it. Rayman Mini is an auto-runner, something you're probably familiar with now. It also runs on the same UbiArt framework engine, which holds up remarkably well. Something you will see throughout this video. I am beyond impressed with what the developers Ubisoft and Pasta Games have managed to achieve graphically. The game also has a beautiful and well-suited soundtrack by Christope Heral, who has done a remarkable job again with the soundtrack. It's so well-suited and really reflects the theme throughout the entire game. The Rayman Mini introduces a handful of worlds and the return of our favourite Gladish heroes. From Rayman, Glowbox, Barbara and the Teensies, there is a great variety of characters and outfits, especially considering there are more coming in the future. I mean, just check these out. I also discovered some changes to profiles, including statistics, leaderboards and the introduction of game achievements, which really introduces a sense of replayability and challenge. There's also a great sense of competitiveness with this. Rayman Mini also has a huge variety in level design, which I touched on earlier. Check out one of my favourite levels, Poison Mushrooms, from my favourite world, World 3. The developers had a lot of fun making quirky illusion filters and strobe effects. It's great to see them having fun. This for me really makes the game stand out and makes it so much more interesting. Rayman Mini introduces a mobile series first, boss battles. Every world features its unique boss, with the final world having multiple bosses. There is a good selection of enemies. Bosses can include large insects and caterpillars, birds and so much more. However, I was annoyed to see Ubisoft recycling the toads. It would have been good to see some originality here. The game manages to make some interesting use of platforming mechanics and world design to create for really pressing and challenge-worthy boss battles. These are fast-paced, specific, well-timed and synchronized. And unlike traditional boss battles with hitboxes, Rayman Mini uses environmental switches and platforms and the worlds to help save the Glade of Dreams. These levels are really engaging and make for some really fresh platforming, something I haven't seen for a while on a mobile device. There's no doubt about it, Rayman Mini is a challenging game. The intricate and precise movement leads to some really refreshing platforming, something we should expect from a Rayman game. There's a real sense of difficulty and challenge. This progressively graduates as you get further and further throughout each world and into the game. You learn as a player how to manipulate the world around you to explore secrets, hidden areas and even collectibles to unlock items. There is a real sense of achievement here. However, sadly some levels experience rather frustrating and out of place platforms and level design. I often had to keep trying to cheat to reach certain areas. the difficulty can also be rather pressing, and I found myself often dying, missing lums and wanting to sling my iPhone across the room, especially towards the end of the game. I mean, check this out. Microsoft have been really intent on supporting Rayman Mini, releasing seasonal content. This is really encouraging despite the $4.99 monthly paywall. So far there have been 2 seasons which respectively have introduced Challenge Mode and Music Mode. Challenge Mode, which introduces competitive local and global leaderboards, has you running for an endless and randomly generated daily and weekly level. These are a great test of skill and can provide a challenge, especially once you've reached over 1,000 meters. You are rewarded with gems and cups depending upon your progress, which equates into series favourite level of awesomeness, which is returned from Rayman Legends. I have to say this really does help identify the best and worst players, including the Rayman veterans. Season 2 introduces the return of fan favourite music mode. Every world in Rayman Mini has its own uniquely designed level which is synchronised to the music of popular songs including Eye of a Tiger, Black Betty and Woohoo. If you haven't played Rayman Legends, these are not new songs. It's such a shame Ubisoft did not try remixing new and original songs. With the game having such an emphasis on the world and the environment, there are plenty of songs that could have been appropriately chosen. Despite the disappointment, these levels are particularly fun and require a great deal of patience. Especially during the remix levels, which feature various visual features from Rayman Legends. These are handled really well on mobile devices and create for some really pressing and challenging levels. The sense of accomplishment here is unprecedented, and if you manage to complete these, you feel so well rewarded. With another season on the way, data mine suggests the possible return of Mr. Dark and the Incredibles. On the horizon, Rayman Mini's future looks rather large. Rayman Mini is a great addition to a spectacular series of mobile titles. Its individuality, charismatic design and charming nature is a flawless and a real reason not to skip this brilliantly executed mobile edition. It's a new year and I'm really excited to see what's in store for the future of the Rayman series. With the success of Rayman Mini and it being a real breath of fresh air, I remain really hopeful for the future of Rayman, whether it be on console or mobile. So therefore I'm giving Rayman Mini 5 out of 5 stars.